Who gives a about the...
And by the way, for all you kids watching at home, Santa just is white.
Welcome to this War on Christmas 2022 special edition of the Facts and Friends podcast. My name is Tino, and joining me this week is my friend and co-host. Most of you know him as Herschel Walker's now unemployed campaign manager, image coach, and werewolf handler. It's Judson. Merry War on Christmas, Judson.
Wait, so you're Team Werewolf? Or am I Team Werewolf? I'm confused.
Well, in your job, Herschel Walker wanted to be a werewolf and not a vampire.
Right, of course.
So he was the werewolf you were handling.
Right, okay.
In terms of the Twilight question.
But I thought you were Team Jacob, so like
I've always been Team Jacob.
Wouldn't you have voted for Herschel Walker who wanted to be a werewolf?
No, because he didn't look like Taylor Lautner.
Oh, so if he had looked like Taylor Lautner, everything would have been fine.
Dude, I'm Team Jacob, not Team Werewolf.
Okay. All right, sorry. I'm getting us off track here.
No worries.
Merry War on Christmas, Tino.
Merry War on Christmas to you. We've been on a short hiatus since... didn't even get past that with a straight face. Since Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend's swollen testicles severely derailed our podcast some weeks ago.
Is week's the right word there?
Well, just 4 weeks ago.
It was a very serious issue. So, I mean...
It really was. Don't worry, when we start editing, it'll feel like we never stopped.
That's the way it always feels.
Anyway, now we are back for this War on Christmas 2022 special, and we plan to launch Season 3 in January 2023.
Yeah, that's the plan.
So, Judson, let's get into it, all right?
Please.
Unlike a lot of other political podcasts, we don't shy away from making predictions.
Right, sure.
And we're even less shy about boasting when we get them right. But Judson, we got this one wrong last season.
What did we get wrong?
And also, you mentioned abortion. Stay tuned, because in season 3 of our show, the Catholics are going to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Wait, so you got it? You got it right?
No, because we're not in season 3 yet.
Oh, I see. Well, the prediction came true. We just simply dropped the ball on starting season 3 at the right time.
Oh, was that what happened?
Yeah. You were right. You didn't take into account all of the various things that had to go into.
Do we even want to get into Dobbs in our War on Christmas show? We don't want to be that angry. This is our 2022 War on Christmas special. And even though it's been a number of days since we last aired a new episode.
A number of days?
Okay, 447 days. Yeah, whatever. It's still days.
That is a number. 447 is, in fact, a number. Okay, go on.
We actually had very little choice over what this show was going to be, Judson.
Why is that?
Because the War on Christmas is really a year-round battle, and while we've been on hiatus, we have not been pulling our weight as the mindless, woke sheeple of the George Soros army that we are.
Wait, we haven't? I've been pulling my weight. I don't know about you.
We haven't been pulling our weight on the air.
On the air? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
In fact, we don't even really want to be back on the air, if we're honest.
If we're honest, sure.
But our COVID vaccine microchips got activated, and they've compelled us to come back.
So here we are.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill Gates.
So anyway, to teach us the true meaning of the War on Christmas, over the course of this episode, Lord Soros will send 3 ghosts of the deep state, the ghosts of the War on Christmas past, present, and yet to come.
Okay.
We have no control over these ghosts, Judson. Not a bit.
I definitely do not. I'm less certain about others on the podcast.
Okay. Leave the curtain where it is. Stop tugging at it. Don't touch it. I'm slapping your hand.
Sorry.
These ghosts are going to show us stories that we didn't cover because we were off the air, but we should have.
Oh, okay.
They're also going to show us the stories that we need to cover now.
Right.
And the stories that are no doubt coming down the road.
More predictions, perhaps.
Perhaps. And it's only through us seeing these things and covering these things that we may come to remember and cherish the true meaning of the War on Christmas.
Well, I am excited to find out what that is.
I'm actually a little worried about it because the last time we had a ghost on the show, this happened. Vote in person if you have not already.
Yeah, it's too late for mail. Do not trust it.
The ghost inside me, Judson, disagrees. It is not too late for mail. Ooh, I love cock.
Your female ghost is very effeminate. That's excellent.
So we don't want a repeat of that.
We have the best ghosts.
No, that's not a good ghost. All right, well, let's hope these Soros-funded ghosts are a little bit more restrained.
Vax voice message received.
Judson, it's the ghost of War on Christmas Past. It's communicating with me through my Bill Gates COVID vaccine microchip.
What? But I'm not getting one.
It wants us to start atoning by covering a story we missed last year because we were off. It honestly was one of the biggest tragedies in U.S. history. That's right, I'm talking about Pine 11.
I'm sorry, what now?
We were off the air last Christmas, but with us or not, the war raged on.
Sad news, our very own beautiful 50-foot Fox News Christmas tree was destroyed.
First off, I have to give credit where credit is due, Judson. I think the Daily Show coined the term Pine 11. That was not mine.
Right.
But it was really based on the reactions of the Fox News talking heads.
Who sets a Christmas tree on fire?
Who sets a Christmas
Well,
tree
I mean,
on
it's
fire?
just part of the rampant, no city is safe, no person is safe.
No city is safe, Tino?
I guess because the Fox Christmas tree burned down last year. Doesn't that mean no city is safe?
I mean, I can't speak for all cities, but I think there's quite a few of them left.
I think New York City is still left.
I mean, I think there were actually other Christmas trees in New York City still, even last year.
Yeah. Even the Fox tree went back up.
It's a tree that unites us, that brings us together. It's about the Christmas spirit. It is about the holiday season. It's about Jesus. It's about Hanukkah. It is about everything that we stand for as a country. Freedom and being able to worship the way that you want to worship.
It's about Hanukkah?
I guess.
The Christmas tree in front of the Fox building is about Hanukkah.
Maybe because they burnt it down. Hanukkah's the festival of lights, and they lit the lanterns.
Were there 8 trees? I thought it was just one.
But there's only one candle on the first night of Hanukkah. I'm just trying to get in their heads and explain this to you.
I think you're reaching a little bit.
And I think the person that burned down the tree wasn't like a left or a right person. They were just a crazy person.
That does sound familiar to me.
But the funny thing about all the pearl clutching in that clip is that these are the same people who went out of their way to downplay the January 6th insurrection as like more or less a peaceful protest.
Sure, right. When you peacefully break into a building and smear feces on the wall, that's what that is.
Yeah, well, to be honest, Judson, I thought Fox News liked burning symbols made of wood in front of businesses and residences, so I'm not quite sure.
Only when they've got their hoods on.
Okay, that's what it was. They weren't dressed for it.
You got to have activity-appropriate attire.
Vax voice message received.
I'm getting another message through my chip, Judson. It's the ghost again.
Again?
Yeah.
I'm starting to believe that maybe you aren't getting messages and you're just talking about stuff.
No comment. I
mean, I feel like if your chip is going off, my chip should be going off too. I don't get this.
I don't know.
Okay, fine. What's the ghost want? The ghost.
It wants me to spin the... Nazis!
Oh, no, not the wheel.
We left that behind in season 2, I thought.
Uh-huh. Well, unfortunately, I've watched the news a little bit, and we did not, in fact, leave the wheel of Nazis behind.
We'll give it a spin. So far, we've only ever seen one Nazi come up on this wheel.
Here we go.
Oh, for fuck's sake, not again. It's Madison Cawthorn, Judson. It's always Madison Cawthorn.
He's the only name on the wheel last time, I think.
Well, while we were away, everyone's favorite tree-abusing wheelchair Nazi had a very rapid but entertaining fall from grace.
I enjoyed it.
And I think at least, it all started not with the allegations of sexual misconduct with women or...
No, couldn't have, because they had those when he was running the first time.
It sure did. Or visits to Nazi shrines.
Also first time. Yep.
Or even his second grader handwriting, Judson. Right. I think it started here.
Look at all these people. A lot of them that I've looked up to through my life. I've always paid attention to politics, guys that, then all of a sudden you get invited to like, well, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to? Yeah. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy. Yeah. Or the fact that, there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove, addiction in our country. And then you watch them do, a key bump of cocaine right in front of you.
So he exposed the dark underbelly of DC life for some of his own. And I think that led them to turn on him immediately.
Number one rule of the cocaine orgy is you don't talk about the cocaine orgy.
Exactly.
That's not how you get invited back to the good parties, Madison.
Suddenly, though, all these clips of him in what I would generously describe as compromising positions.
Some more compromising than others.
For sure. But they all started, these videos and images started to surface. And there was a theme among most, if not all of them.
I would like to see a naked body beneath my house. Me too.
I don't remember that one in particular. There are some others that I recall, but that's a new one for me.
Oh, we'll get to those. That is a smartphone video of Cawthorn in a car, apparently coming on to his male friend Stafford. There's not a lot of context there, but that's what it sounds like.
So the coming on happens later, I thought.
We are yet to come to that.
Different clip, sorry.
And there's, I think, where the theme is. It really seems like his own side went after him via a campaign of gay smearing / shaming, right?
It felt very much like what happened was they had compiled their documentation his first time around when he was running for office of all the potentially compromising scenarios that might be out there, right?
Right.
And then when he went off script with the cocaine orgy release of information, they just said, okay, fine. And they released their own Oppo research on him. And that's what we got.
Yeah, I mean, there were photos of him in women's lingerie from that cruise ship. There's that clip we just played.
He looked kind of hot in that, to be honest. I mean,
he absolutely
not gonna
did.
lie.
He looks
Yeah.
smoking hot.
He's still a Nazi, but he is an attractive Nazi.
He's a hot Nazi.
Yeah.
There was a not so subtle implication that he might be in a relationship with a male staffer,
right,
for whom he bought gifts. Remember that story? He paid for lodgings. They went on vacations.
Yeah.
So honestly, I guess we should just say welcome to Madison's
Gay Corner. I don't think he would appreciate that.
No, I don't think he would.
But
I don't think he's
let's
actually
explain
gay.
That. Let's talk about this next clip.
Speaking of butts, there is, of course, the butt naked, dry humping cherry on top.
Oh my, oh my, oh my,
Do you remember that classic, Judson? Dare I now call it a holiday classic?
I do remember that one. That's.
Can you describe it for us?
He grabs his buddy and like jumps on top of him, like grabs him and like
they're on like a couch in a hotel.
On a couch, and he just like starts, as you said, like dry humping him on the couch, and his like bare naked ass is like popping up and down.
He's completely naked.
Actually, I'm assuming he was dry humping his buddy. He may have been doing something else, but it was at least that much.
It's an odd video, and I watched it a lot.
I bet you did.
Don't ask me how many times I watch it, because I'm not going to tell you.
I'm not going to ask. I don't really want to know the answer to that question.
Thank you.
Vax voice message received.
Oh, I think that was your chip, Judson. I'm not getting anything.
Well, you're right. I misjudged you, Tino. The ghost wants us to cover the 2022 midterms.
I was actually afraid to watch, Judson. I'd heard there was going to be this massive red tsunami.
Yeah.
We begin this Sunday morning with expectations of a red wave this Tuesday.
The knives are being sharpened right now for Joe Biden.
Red wave rising. That is the focus of tonight's angle.
You know, Democrats are going to get crushed on November 8th because a red wave is coming.
How big could that looming red wave get?
Let me tell you what is the storm, that red wave. I'm telling you, if there's any indication based upon what we're seeing this morning, somebody made a surfboard, said the red wave is coming.
We've been hearing, is it going to be a red wave? Is it going to be a red tsunami? I think it's going to be a red hurricane.
It's going to be a wave election, and you're going to lose the Senate, and I'll bet you $1,000 right now.
But they were all of them deceived.
Yet there was no red wave. In fact, we gained a Senate seat and barely lost the House.
Oh, thank goodness. I can turn on the news and go back to Twitter now.
You might want to hold off on that second part.
What? No, I wasn't hiding from the imaginary wet red wave. I was nervously clutching my Med Alert necklace while I watched the returns, which lasted days.
Well, yeah, and as those days wore on, a lot of those red wave predicting democracy-loathing, right-wing fascist assholes started dramatically changing their tunes. Tino, you're supposed to play the clip?
Oh, sorry. I'm distracted by this wheel of Nazis here. Like, now Cawthorn's gone. And I really want to know what happens if we spin it now. I mean, I don't want to derail the show, but do you mind if I spin it?
It's fine. Go ahead. It's only because it's the war on Christmas, though.
Oh my God, Judson, it's not Madison Cawthorn. It's someone new.
You got to recognize the fact that this is a godless country. I hate it. It's immoral, it's wrong, it's heinous, it's evil, but this is an evil country. And this country will surprise you with how evil it is. But the point is, when you look at these things like abortion, it's popular. People like abortion, hate it, but it's true. And you can thank the Jewish media for that. Sodomy's popular, being gay is popular, being a feminist is popular, sex out of wedlock is popular, contraceptives are, it's all popular. That's not to say it's good. That's not to say I like that. Popular means the people support it, which they do. And it sucks and it is what it is, but that's why we need dictatorship. That's unironically why we need to get rid of all that. We need to take control of the media or take control of the government and force the people to believe what we believe or force them to play by our rules and reshape the society.
That is proud Nazi and Trump dinner guest, Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
And it's actually on topic, because this was the kind of insanity kind of coming after the right. I mean, this is the extreme version of it, but there was all kinds of doom and gloom, right? And also, is it just me, or did it kind of sound like he hates America in there?
Oh, no, he absolutely hates the version of America that currently exists. That's what Make America Great Again was all about to begin with.
But they did that already.
Well, now it's Make America Great Again? I don't know. It's always been about turning America into the version of it that they can stomach. Because they can't handle people of color and non-cis hetero people. That's not the America they like and grew up understanding and were exposed to.
And if you don't want that America, you hate America.
Exactly right.
Well, there was a lot of doom and gloom on the right, as I said, as it became clear that there was no red wave. There wasn't even a red trickle.
I did have sort of a Schadenfreude boner like the whole week.
Yeah, it was a good week. And interestingly enough, we heard surprisingly few right-wing conspiracies about voter fraud.
I mean, there were a few, but not many.
Yeah, not many. In fact, I think all of the 2020 election deniers conceded, with one notable exception.
just the one, yeah.
Now, before we play the clip, I ask our listeners to please set their audio device blur filter to just the teensiest smidge of a notch before blackout drunk. So very blurry. Because we're about to talk about Arizona's biggest loser, former gubernatorial candidate and current crazy person, Carrie Lake.
She's just so fuzzy. Soft focus.
Arizona, America, if we do not stand up and speak up right now about the most dishonest elections in the history of Arizona, I truly fear for our future. Our sacred vote is supposed to be the great equalizer of the people. And right now, our vote has been trampled upon.
So as of this past Friday, like yesterday, Judson, she filed yet another lawsuit challenging the results of her gubernatorial election.
I'm honestly surprised she can find lawyers to do this.
Her last lawyers are already sanctioned for the suit they filed in the summer. The judge said that they gave false, misleading, and unsupported, quote-unquote, factual assertions.
That's called an oopsie when you're a lawyer.
Right.
Technical term.
Well, we'd be remiss, Judson, if we didn't talk about your former boss and alleged avid abortion fan and would-be werewolf.
And werewolf, yeah.
Herschel Walker. Now, Walker narrowly lost in the general election, and he also narrowly lost the ensuing runoff.
He did.
Which granted us a 51-50 majority in the Senate. Okay, Judson, I think that about does it for the midterms.
Vax voice message received.
Ghost or whatever you are, why did we cover the Democrats' 51-seat majority in the Senate here in the War on Christmas past? That just happened. Reverend Warnock just won.
Breaking news.
It's just into us from Politico. Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema has announced she will be leaving the Democratic Party and will register as an independent. The senator said, quote, I know some people might be a little bit surprised by this, but actually, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Oh, boy. Cinema.
She didn't have the spotlight for like 2 minutes.
I'm saying good riddance.
She was not a reliable vote in the Senate to begin with for the Democratic Party.
No.
Her and Manchin both. And that's the main reason we weren't able to do many of the things we would really have liked to have done in the last 2 years. I don't think this changes a whole lot.
No, I think it's just on her. It's for her. It's just like a calculated attempt to retain her Senate seat.
Exactly, yeah. It's a political move. I don't know if she thinks it's going to help her in a re-election campaign.
I think she does. I think she was going to lose the primary in 2 years, so now she avoids having to do the primary.
Yeah, so then now she'll just lose the general. and make sure the Republican wins the general. So
Well, it's not clear that Schumer will even run someone against her. We'll see.
it's not clear,
TBD.
but I think she loses the general either way.
Maybe.
I don't think she's popular enough to swing it as an independent.
They don't like her there.
And this particular move, I think, will be seen for the political calculation that it is.
I hope so.
And she'll be even less popular than she is now, which, as we just said, is not a lot.
I mean, for the most part, Democrats didn't seem that concerned. Reactions were pretty muted. She's still caucusing with the Democrats, so they will retain their advantage in terms of like committee composition.
Right.
And we'll see, like I said, if Democrats will run against her in 2024. But there was one reaction, Judson, to put a bow on this, that really stood out to me.
Okay.
Not every Democrat is happy when Democrats ditch their party. So this senator said, way back before they were senator, it was right after Lieberman lost his primary. He left the Democratic Party, became an independent. Here's what this senator-to-be said, quote, "He's a shame to the Democrats. I don't even know why he's running. He seems to want to get Republicans voting for him. What kind of strategy is that?" And it's from the Hartford Courant, 2003. Who do you think that was, Judson?
So you're saying that's a current senator who said this in 2003?
Yes, about Joe Lieberman.
Was it Kirsten Sinema?
You're correct, Judson.
Shot in the dark. Absolute shot in the dark.
It was Kirsten Sinema. Oh, my. That's not going to bite her in the ass.
Not a bit.
All right. Well, my microchip hasn't gone off, and I don't think yours has, so...
Not yet.
So let's take a short break before the next go.
I've just been going along with it. But then, I'm always depressed when not even my father remembers my actual birthday is in June.
I see. Tell me more about your relationship with your father.
Doctor, he's our father. And it's complicated. I mean, he did have me killed that time.
I'm sorry, what?
It was just for the weekend, but still, it hurt, you know?
Attention, shoppers. The Southgate Mall will be closing in 15 minutes.
Mommy, look at Santa. Is he gonna feed his reindeer?
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho! 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 Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho!
It's my holiday. I have to defend it.
It was a horrific scene at our local SantaCon event where 69 attendees dressed as Santa Clauses were brutally murdered by an as-yet unidentified man. Several of the victims appear to have been crucified on crosses made from Christmas trees, while at least 13 of the Santas, and one reindeer, were sewn together in a horrific Yuletide version of the human centipede. You might say it was a human centipede of sorts. Now, let's check in on the weather this holiday with Jim.
In a world where Christmas is under attack, in a world where people have forgotten the true meaning of the season, in a world where you need 2 weeks written notice to have your insurance company cover life-saving treatment, but even undocumented immigrants recently returned to Earth for the second coming can buy a semi-automatic rifle at Walmart. Coming this holiday. Coming this Christmas season, only one man can save Christmas. And he's the reason for the gosh darned season. He's putting the Christ.
Jesus Christ! I think he's dead! No, they're all dead!
Back in Christmas.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
And I do mean you, Judson. And welcome back to our listeners as well. All right, Judson, while we wait for the second ghost to come and visit us, why don't we tell the folks about our new partner in the war on Christmas this year?
Our new partner?
Do you know who it is? In 2020, we got Melania to work as a double agent. Do you remember?
I do remember Melania, yeah.
This is an even bigger get.
Who is it?
It's Fox News. You may be wondering, Judson, how are they our partner in the war on Christmas?
I am wondering that, in fact.
Right. So they announced their tree lighting on November 21st. And I don't know if that meant they were turning on colored lights or igniting the accelerant. But later that night,
They specified it was a tree lighting, right? Not another wooden object lighting.
it was tree lighting, yes.
Okay, just to be clear.
Okay. But later that night, Laura Ingraham got super pissed off about the Biden administration being too pro-Christmas.
Too pro-Christmas?
Biden's too pro-Christmas, according to Laura Ingraham.
Did she say why?
Well, she just said that they jumped the gun on Christmas. I'm not sure quite how.
Were they doing Christmas stuff before Halloween was over?
No, it was I think the same day as Fox lit its own fucking tree. It defies explanation.
Joe Biden is too pro-Christmas because they were celebrating Christmas at the same time as Fox News.
Maybe the Biden administration was just ahead of them by 10 seconds. I think she's just pissed that they got scooped.
I said their thunder was stolen is what happened.
What the fuck is that noise?
I am the ghost of war on Christmas present.
Oh, finally.
Wait, what happened to the microchip communication?
Sorry, I'm new. I'm not in the system yet.
Okay, but it was easier to have the ghost talk to us through the...
Enough. You have not yet completed your atonement. There are still stories you'll need to share from the present day to restore the war on Christmas to its true glory. And this requires a game.
It's time to play the easiest game in podcasting. Did the right lose their shit? Oh, come on. This game is so stupid.
It's my favorite game.
The answer's always the same, Judson.
It's always yes. It's always yes.
Oh, I see the topic of this week's game, Judson. And I think this actually might be one where the right doesn't lose their shit.
I will withhold judgment.
We begin tonight with the dramatic prisoner swap playing out on the world stage today. WNBA star Brittany Griner on her way home to the U.S. tonight, freed from Russia in a prisoner swap for a Russian arms dealer convicted here in the U.S., known as the Merchant of Death.
So tell me, Judson, did the right lose their shit?
Of course they lost their shit. That's the game, Tino. They always lose their shit.
Would they be happy about this American unfairly imprisoned in Russia being returned to the U.S.?
No.
So at this point, we can assume the obvious. The Biden administration chose Brittany Griner over Paul Whelan, the basketball player over the Marine facing 16 years. There was only room for one in the lifeboat, and the Marine got left behind. Well, why'd they make that choice? Well, you should know that Whelan is a Trump voter. And he made the mistake of saying so on social media. He's paying the price for that now. Brittany Griner is not. She's got very different politics. Brittany Griner despises the United States. She's been very vocal about that. This country is so repellent and immoral that 2 years ago she said, quote, I honestly feel we should not play the national anthem during our basketball season. She hates the country so much she doesn't want to hear its anthem. That's the kind of position that gets you rewarded by Joe Biden. Hate America? Perfect. We'll free the guy who sold weapons to drug cartels to get you out early. So there's that. And then there's the matter of identity, which is central to equity. Brittany Griner is not white, and she's a lesbian. Now, those facts might seem irrelevant to you. We hope they do seem irrelevant, because they are.
Tuckums.
Well, I really got that one wrong. I thought for sure. What are your thoughts, Judson?
I mean, he's full of shit.
That goes without saying, right?
It's Tucker. I mean, he's always full of shit. There are 3 reasons that they are not happy about this deal. 1, it makes Biden look good.
It does, yep.
Biden successfully negotiated a prisoner swap for a high-profile, essentially political prisoner.
Sure.
And that's a win for him, and they don't like that. It benefited a black LGBT woman, also a thing they don't really care for. And 3, they've made up this fanciful tale that somehow the Biden administration dropped the ball by not also getting this other person released, even though that wasn't possible.
We tried to get him back.
They've been trying.
And Russia claims that he's a spy, so they want a spy in exchange.
Right.
But we don't currently have any Russian spies in custody in this country.
That we will admit to.
That we'll admit to, at least. So
Right.
we even tried to work with Germany, who does have a Russian spy in custody, but they weren't comfortable releasing the guy who basically murdered someone in plain sight.
And Whelan may very well be a spy. I don't know.
We don't know.
That's above my pay grade.
But here's the funny thing about this story. If I recall it correctly, the former guy was actually president when Russia arrested Whelan. And I believe, if I'm looking at my calendar here, he had over 2 years to secure Whelan's release if it was so fucking important.
Oh, it's going to happen in 2 weeks, man. Just like the infrastructure bill. Just like healthcare. 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks.
So if they want to blame someone, they can blame that asshole. Biden actually got a prisoner freed.
And Whelan's family was very gracious in this, supporting the decision to make the trade, because holding out for a trade that simply wasn't going to happen didn't help anyone.
But you won't hear that side of the story from Fox or Newsmax or OAN.
Of course not.
Now you must spin the wheel of Nazis.
No. We already did that with the other ghosts.
Yes, and you will again.
But it's just going to land on Nick Fuentes.
It's just him and Madison Cawthorn left.
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler.
Nope.
Sorry. Absolutely not.
No,
not doing it.
Not
doing it.
We are not talking about that guy.
What else you got?
All right, I get it. That's totally fair. Now, Judson, the task of shining light upon the bankruptcy baby, the petulant pimple, the space Karen, falls to you.
Who's he talking about, Judson?
Can we go back to Kanye and Hitler? Shit. He's talking about Elon Musk.
Oh, no.
Looking forward to the comments on this video, this audio. This is going to be great.
Well, why don't you walk us through it, Judson? You're our Twitter guy.
It's been a while since we were on the air, obviously.
A few days, I've heard.
Kind of a lot's happened since then. Back in January, Elon started secretly buying up Twitter stock. And he's been proclaiming himself to be sort of a, free speech absolutist. Thinks that all speech should be allowed, except what is prohibited by...
even shouting fire in a crowded theater?
Yes, but that's also not illegal. So Elon basically is mad. He was mad at the time about two particular things. One, we're actually married, him and Grimes. His girlfriend, wife, whatever, mother of his children, two of his children, left him for someone who is trans.
Really?
And any sort of attack on trans people on Twitter was deemed hate speech at the time. And therefore, lots of people were getting banned or suspended from Twitter. Jordan Peterson, Kanye.
J.K. Rowling, was she banned?
I don't think she was banned that I saw. Her transgressions were a little less vile, I think, directly than some of these other folks.
She was doing the young adult version of transphobia, as opposed to...
Right. So, two things he was upset about. One, Grimes left him for a trans person. And two, they banned the Babylon Bee.
What is that?
Christian version of The Onion.
Oh my God.
Or at least that's what it wants to be. They had exactly one joke. Some people will say they had two or three jokes, but they had one joke, and everything was a variation on I identify as X.
Oh, no.
They've done it so many times, and they eventually, the transphobia that they were posting got them suspended from Twitter. And so those two things really made Elon mad. And I'm not really sure why the second one did as much as the first, but he was super upset about all this. And so he decided back in January to start buying Twitter stock secretly. Actually, potentially an illegal amount of stock before he actually disclosed the amount that he had purchased. All under the proclamation that he was going to bring back free speech to Twitter, the thing that has no actual application to Twitter because it's not a government entity.
How does buying stocks help you bring free speech to Twitter?
Because of all the stock that he had, he actually was offered a position on Twitter's board.
Ooh.
And then apparently there's a background check involved, and he said, no, wait, never mind. 5 days later, he announced that he would not, in fact, be joining the Twitter board.
Is apartheid part of the background check?
Don't know. Emerald mines? I don't know.
All right.
Then he made a ridiculously stupid offer 4 days after that. 4 days after he decided not to join the board of Twitter, he made an offer to take Twitter private, to buy it out at $54.20 a share. It was only trading at $39 before...
I bet he read The Art of the Deal.
But he is a genius businessman. So he went ahead and signed a binding contract to purchase Twitter for $44 billion. And then went about securing funding for it. And got a lot of funding for it. And then claimed that he could quintuple Twitter's revenue in 6 years by 2028.
Wow.
But also he wanted to move away from advertising revenue, which is Twitter's main source of money. So clearly he would have to fall back on, I don't know, the dark arts or something to make up the difference.
Maybe J.K. Rowling could help him there.
Maybe she could. Avada Kedavra. But wait, then the deal was on hold. Twitter has too many bots. And he said, I need to see Twitter's data. I want to see it. And then they showed him the data. And he was like, no, I didn't actually want to see it. I just wanted you to not make me buy this stupid company. You're going to have to sue me. And then they sued him. And long story short, he closed the deal one day before the trial in Delaware where Twitter sued him was supposed to begin at the original price. And a trial that he almost certainly would have lost.
So now here we are. Elon owns Twitter.
Elon owns Twitter.
What happened after he bought Twitter?
Well, he said, first of all, that he was not reinstating Trump.
Oh.
That there would be a content moderation council that would make those decisions. Then he said, I think it was the bird is free or comedy is legal now on Twitter. Both those things he said.
Had comedy previously been illegal?
No, it had not been. But Elon suffers from a very serious case of not being funny. So it's hard to tell if he would even notice. What really got freed the day he took over was racism.
Oh.
The use of the N-word jumped nearly 500% the day Elon took over.
And that was just Michael Richards.
And that was just... I think he had some friends along with him.
Oh, okay. It wasn't Michael Richards, by the way.
And then, again, a genius businessman move, Musk decided he was going to start selling the blue verification checkmark. Except that he wasn't going to actually provide any verification. He was just going to be selling the check mark for initially floated a figure of $20, but then Stephen King talked him down to $8. This is all true. This is all 100% true. So he's going to sell the blue check mark in lieu of actual verification. And so arguably the funniest thing that's happened on Twitter in easily the last couple of years was the completely predictable outcome of said monetization of the blue check mark and abandoning all previous safeguards of identity verification. And that was the sudden prevalence of imposter accounts. Some of the favorites would be Eli Lilly, pharmaceutical company.
Oh, yes. I heard about that.
Fake account claimed that they were making their insulin free and their stock took such a dive that they lost it in like $12 or $13 billion in market cap.
Jesus. There were a lot of Elon himself.
There were a lot. And actually, that's what happened. Comedy was legal on Twitter, but it immediately started getting people banned.
Wait.
So they threw the book at anyone impersonating anyone else, basically. But mainly people impersonating Elon. Kathy Griffin got banned.
I'm not totally opposed to that, to be honest. I'm not a fan.
I mean, I'm okay with that. If it had been, warranted for what she did.
It was not.
None of it was. So Elon has massive amounts of fake accounts who have paid their $8 to spread chaos on his platform. His fans constantly screaming the N-word. And so you know what you do in that situation.
You give up and walk away.
You lay off half your staff.
Oh.
Completely arbitrarily. Mostly based on the raw number of lines they coded in the last 6 or 12 months.
Didn't he ask them to send them lines of code?
Yeah, he did.
He never was intended to read. Ever.
Absolutely. And he also laid off entire teams of people in charge of safety and accountability and accessibility, other key departments that kept Twitter from being basically 4chan. Oh, and also the communications department, as the press found out when trying to reach anyone for comment on anything.
These sound like really good business decisions that Elon's making.
Genius 4D chess moves right here, man. And of course, when you arbitrarily fire a bunch of people based on a metric that had no real meaning to anyone in the business, it turns out that's not a great idea. And he immediately had to try and rehire some of the people that they had just laid off. Most of them told him to go to hell, I think. There were some who were on visas who really needed a job and I think took him up on the offers. But mostly they were like, nah, fuck you. I'm going to find something else. And then additionally, he started making statements on Twitter, basically throwing the current and recent employees under the bus and using jargon that he either did not understand or just assumed no one would challenge. And it turns out engineers working at a social media company are pretty good at social media, and several of them called him out on his attempt to bullshit the public on things going on behind the scenes. And nearly all of those people were summarily fired.
So he just fired those people because he was pissed.
Basically, yeah. And then after, firing some people and firing a few more people, what did he do? He fired some more people.
Didn't he send like an email to people saying like, you either will work 80 hours a week or here's the fucking door.
Yeah. Hardcore Twitter 2.0. They basically had until like the next day to sign on to like 80-hour work weeks and no breaks and sleeping at the Twitter headquarters. And it turns out most people didn't sign the thing, didn't click the button in the email.
Weird.
And then Twitter locked down their code base over fears of internal sabotage and made another round of layoffs, basically, with many of those folks who didn't sign up for hardcore Twitter 2.0.
Is that when the people got locked in the building?
The locked in the building was they shut the whole building down on like a Thursday. The day before, they've been saying everyone has to be in the building, like be on site in the office all the time, immediately. And then the next day, they're like, actually, everyone go home. We're closing the building down till Monday. And that's when all the final round of, so far, round of layoffs occurred. But people didn't get notified. They just went to log in to Twitter to do work, and they couldn't access the system.
The ghost of War on Christmas Present understands not being in the system, I think.
That's right. And of course, I would be remiss to not mention that he reinstated Trump, despite saying he was going to have some sort of oversight committee.
He put that together so quickly?
He did not. He simply put up a Twitter poll.
But Twitter's riddled with bots, I heard. He told me that.
And most of them are his followers. So, yeah, the poll was about the same as the Georgia runoff, actually, I think, about 51-48.
It was pretty close.
So he reinstated Trump, and then it ended up reinstating almost everyone. Trump, Kanye, who then got blocked again 2 weeks later, Jordan Peterson, Roger Stone, nearly everyone, with one notable exception, Alex Jones. He would not reinstate Alex Jones because of his attacks on Sandy Hook parents and, of course, the real victims of Sandy Hook, the children. He tweeted this out. My firstborn child died in my arms. I felt his last heartbeat. I have no mercy for anyone who would use the deaths of children for gain, politics, or fame. And I think that's
fair,
commendable.
I wouldn't say commendable.
That's a good position to take, I
I'm
guess.
sad that his child died in his arms.
Yeah, so about that, Justine Musk, no relation anymore. She was asked, one of Elon's fans asked if his child had died due to SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. And she replied to that person to say it was a SIDS-related incident that put him on life support. He was declared brain dead, and not that it matters to anyone except me, because it was one of the most sacred and defining moments of my life, but I was the one who was holding him.
But so Musk lied about his
yes
firstborn child dying in his arms?
Yes. That is the takeaway from that story.
Now, what are these Twitter files I've been hearing about?
I can tell you the real quick and dirty of those. Number 1, part 1, nothing burger. Part 2, nothing burger with cheese.
I love cheese.
That's it. Part 1 was basically about Hunter Biden's laptop. And turns out, really, the Biden administration wanted to block Hunter Biden dick pics from being posted on Twitter. That is the crux of Twitter Files Part 1. And Twitter Files Part 2 was about internal discussions about limiting reach of offensive tweets and things like that. Really what it comes down to is they were bending over backwards to not ban outright certain conservative accounts who were crossing the lines.
That is not how the right is covering the Twitter files.
You are correct. That is not how the right is covering it, but that is pretty much what you see in it.
All right, Judson, well, I'm reevaluating my relationship with Twitter.
You should.
Yeah, I'm still on it, but I don't feel good about it.
That was never the purpose of Twitter.
I guess not. I mean, for a little while there, I was using it more because it was just one car wreck after another playing out live.
You can't look away.
All right. Well, that's enough of the War on Christmas Present. I assume the ghost got sacked because he's not, he's gone. Maybe he got off work. That story was long.
I bored him, man. Sorry.
Judson, my hat is off to you. You are one of the very few people that could take one of the most exciting, hilarious, dumpster fire things that has happened in the last 6 weeks and put a dead person to sleep. All right.
I mean, I'm gifted. What can I say?
Well, let's take a quick break, and we will be right back to confront our final ghost.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Make America great.
Ivanka, it's cold outside.
Good night, Dad, it's late.
Ivanka, it's cold outside.
We've talked about
just
this.
one father-daughter
Look
kiss.
at the time.
I'll hold your hands, they're small like
My husband is expecting me soon.
It's fun for dads and daughters to
My
spoon.
father will wait, Dad, that's
no,
you.
Honey, this could be you.
Keep in mind that I'm your daughter.
makes it all
Papa,
hard.
think you just need to
Do
chill.
you want to stay in my
Please don't
way?
stare at my
It's fun to be
crotch.
hiding there.
No, I don't want more scotch.
Just let your dad in there.
I really
Took
mean
the hours
no.
an hour ago.
I've lost respect.
That's fine, I'm already here.
I'm telling you, it's no, no, no.
You got to see these tangerine gonads.
Forget I'm related to you.
I've masturbated to you.
So frostbite or
If Uncle don't hold out,
I'd rather die in the cold outside.
As we get ready to close out this 2022 War on Christmas Carol, we just wanted to let you all know how you can stuff our stockings this holiday season.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Family show.
It's metaphorically.
Okay. Also not a family show.
That's by telling your friends about the show. Have them start with this episode. Maybe skip the Elon part. We'll see. Maybe have them start with this show and then let them know that there's more to come in the new year. They can listen to our back catalog, pick and choose which ones you tell them to listen to if you want to keep them as friends.
You want to keep them as friends. This whole line of inquiry is probably out. Forget it.
Yeah. Fast forward 20 seconds if you want to keep them as friends. But that would go a long way toward helping us keep the show on the air and launching some of the really cool ideas and bonus content we have planned for next season and beyond. You can reach Judson, at least for now, on Twitter at where, Judson?
The Fault N my arse. The Fault letter N my arse.
And you can reach me, Tino, on Mastodon if I ever figure out how to use it. No, I'm still on Twitter at Uncle Tortilla, but I am looking forward to a viable alternative. I signed up for Post. I got approved into their beta, but there wasn't much to do there.
I was briefly on Hive Social before the whole thing had to get shut down. I have no idea what it's doing now.
Well, Judson, while we wait for the ghost of the War on Christmas yet to come, I thought it might be useful to get a little serious and reflect on a very real war on Christmas.
Okay.
So I read this blog post by John Pavlovitz.
Yeah, I know him.
And you can see the whole post at his website, johnpavlovitz.com. It's called, Yes, There Is a War on Christmas, and the Right is Waging It. And what he does in this essay is he makes a pretty strong case that the war on Christmas is real and that it's not actually the ones on the secular left are the ones waging that war. It's the far right people. You want to read just a little bit from the essay, Judson?
Sure, yeah. They're the only ones warring with Christmas because they've disregarded their own story. Christmas is a child of Palestinian Jewish parents desperately fleeing politically ordered genocide. Christmas is a dark-skinned child born amid the smell of damp straw and animal dung because no human-worthy welcome could be found. Christmas is a poor, itinerant street-preaching rabbi living off the generosity of those around him. Christmas is a compassionate caregiver, feeding and clothing and healing whoever crossed his path. Christmas is a liberal activist fighting for the poor, condemning violence, shunning material wealth, and calling the world to live sacrificially for the common good. The white evangelical church in America has no use for this Christmas. In fact, worse than that, it has open contempt for it, because this Christmas is antithetical to its arrogant supremacy. This Christmas is incompatible with its rabid Christian nationalism. This Christmas is counter to its ravenous capitalism. This Christmas is resistant to its closed borders and erected walls. This Christmas will not consent to its heartlessness, its callousness, its myopic America First hubris.
He's dead on there, and what he's really talking about, I think, is the right's war on Christianity as a whole.
Absolutely. I struggle with this because even the kindler, gentler Christianity that some churches espouse, I feel like has some fatal flaws, but
sure,
that kindler, gentler Christianity is what they have subverted in these evangelical churches with this prosperity gospel, the appeals to capitalism and none of the teachings of Christ, who they claim is the central figure of their religion, when in fact
it's kind of in the name.
They are individually their own central figures in their religion. That's what's happened. Their selfish desires have supplanted Christ and his teachings.
Hey, y'all. I'm here for the ghost of the war on Christmas yet to come.
Lindsay?
Yeah?
You're a ghost now? When did that happen?
No, I'm not a ghost, silly. I'm just yet to come.
Oh, God.
Today, at least.
Okay. Oh, no. I'm pulling a Kanye on this one. I think we're going to skip this whole ghost, the whole thing. Suffice it to say, there's a lot coming in the yet to come.
Oh, I sure hope so. You got a spare keep-up for the ghost? I'm on my way to an orgy.
Cocaine orgy, all right.
Just leave, Lindsay. All right. No, we do have so much to talk about in season 3 in terms of the future and what's yet to come. And we're really excited to cover the Dunning-Kruger 118th Congress, led by a Republican yet to be named.
I don't know if excited is the word for it, but there will definitely be a lot to talk about.
It's going to be so entertaining. I mean, that person, the speaker will probably be Kevin McCarthy, but even that's going to be fun to watch.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll see. These idiots are going to tackle all the things that they said Americans care about during the midterms, like inflation, gas prices, the economy, the war in Ukraine.
Yeah, right. Sure they are.
I'm kidding. This is going to be 2 years of Hunter Biden's cock. They're just going to ride that thing hard for as long as they're in power.
Phrasing?
Sorry. But they are obsessed with his cock.
They are. It's free speech to be able to see Hunter Biden's cock. That's what it is.
It's not.
It's not.
Well, Judson, while they're doing that, we're going to be watching, you and me, we're going to watch them ride Hunter Biden's cock for the next 2 years.
Are we? Is that what we're going to do?
Judson, it's either that or the Madison Cawthorn dry humping video.
Damn it.
You choose.
It's like Sophie's Choice, but like, what's the opposite of Sophie's Choice? I don't understand.
Well, that's us done with this special, Judson. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you in January with season 3. Happy holidays. And if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you, and to all, a good...
Oh my, oh my, oh.
Take care, everyone. Merry Christmas.
We, in America, have some of the cleanest air and cleanest water of anybody in the world. Yes. So what we do is we're going to put from the Green New Deal millions or billions of dollars cleaning our good air up. So all of a sudden China and India ain't putting nothing in there cleaning that situation up. So all that bad air is still there. But since we don't control the air, our good air decided to float over to China, bad air.
Now, I'll tell you something else I heard. Now, think about this, because at one time, science said man came from apes. Did it not? That's when you go to the science.
Every time I read or hear that, I think to myself, you just didn't read the same Bible I did.
Well, this was interesting, though. If that is true, why are there still apes?
Night, I was watching this movie called Fright Night, Freak Night, or some type of night, but it was about vampires. I don't know if you know vampires are cool people or they not, but I'm telling you something that I found out. A werewolf can kill a vampire. Do you know that? I never knew that, so I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. I want to be a werewolf.
Y'all have kids. Everybody have kids, I hope. You have kids that they love to watch all these shows, and you have to sit there and watch them with them and stuff, and sooner or later, you get when you like the shows, but they don't like them no more. And now you have to watch them by yourself and you feel like a dirty old man. Like I had to rent the neighbor's kid to go see Jungle Book like a year ago because my son didn't want to go with me to see Jungle Book and I didn't want to look like a weird guy.
Resurrection is about the people.